Hi, everyone. I'm live with Godless Kiefer, and we are going to, and she's also known as the Godless Girl, and we're going to review a video from Aron and Inspiring Philosophy and some highlights that Eric Hernandez made. And so she sent this video to me, and I got a good kick out of it. So I think you guys are going to get a kick out of it too. So before we start, let me go ahead and introduce you if you haven't met her before. She's a Godless Girl. Would you like to say hello?
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so I actually encountered her first on a debate on the Modern Day Debate channel, and I thought she did a really fine job. And so I was trying to get a hold of her and made a video response to that debate, and then she came on. So this is the second time she's been on my channel. So I appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this.
Well, can we play I just want to comment about something that Raging Atheist said right at the beginning. It's timestamped.
Oh, do you want to do that one too? Is that the
Yeah,
one?
I don't care about the politics or the actual content or anything. It's just something dumb he said right in the beginning.
Oh yeah, we'll go to that.
Play it from the link I gave you. It should play it right from the moment he said this ridiculous. It's just gibberish.
Okay, let me get that up in front of me. So that's, yeah, so that is a video that you made that somebody made.
Oh, I want to say, because I saw some people bitching on Twitter. Steve McRae's done this with me because I love Steve and he loves me. But like the Raging Atheist, he was going to have me on his channel. And then some people, like, this was a long time ago, revolted because of my other YouTube channel, you know, where I'm being ghetto and stuff. So yeah. You look, people like you and Steve McRae had me on. That doesn't mean you're condoning my behavior on, like, when I'm making welfare queen videos and stuff, right? That no, I thought it's irrelevant to what I'm saying about the great debate community, you know? So you can chastise me for whatever you want and still have me on your channels, because there's some people, like some atheists, were moralizing on Twitter. Yeah, I've seen some of that kind of stuff, and I feel like Steve gets a lot of hatred, and I don't know you as well, so I haven't seen your following and what people have done, but I'm welcome. I think it's a good idea to try to build bridges and try to unite different groups and different perspectives, and so that's why I like that you're on my channel. Steve's hated by the atheist. He's because he speaks out against the dishonesty. He's one of the few other my fellow atheists that do. So he's hated by a lot of the atheist community.
Yeah, he's I've been in contact with him. He's actually trying to helping me out on something that's been going on with some people coming at me. So, but it hasn't worked. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, okay, so he is Make America Drunk Again. Obviously, this is a play.
Yeah, I don't know anything about. I don't even know what he's talking about. It's the politics, like what he's critiquing you on. I don't know anything about that. I don't follow politics at all. But he says this nonsense. Just play it for. It's just like a few seconds long.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Anyway, I'll just tell you guys, this is a video that I made. I'm a registered Democrat, but I made a video because I was pleased that Trump actually stopped air flights when he did in the end of January with Iran and China, and because of coronavirus, obviously. And so I made a video to say something like that, and a couple of the follow-ups from the Democrats, which I wasn't happy about. And then he responded to my video acting like I'm a big Trump fan, and I'm really not a fan of either party. So right now I've decided I don't like either. So, but here we go.
Oh, SJ. What is up, you heathens and demons,
I guess it didn't play it from the
sinners and
timestamp, but that's
saints,
okay. It's right at the beginning.
Beautiful, blasphemous people. Welcome back to The Rage. I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is The Raging Atheist, and today we're gonna be looking at SJ and her horrible politics again. First, gotta send that shout out to my patrons. You guys are the shit. You guys are getting me through. If you'd like to see every video before they go on YouTube for just $1 a month, you can do so. There's also gonna be a lot more very good perks for the higher tiers. So, want to thank Jeff Schwartz for becoming a $20 member. Alright guys, so in my last video on SJ, we started to cover something that she was obviously reading, a bunch of bullshit. And we're going to continue that. But before we continue that, I need to make clear that she's reading an article that she wrote herself on her blog. So she's using herself, I guess, as some kind of credential. But we shouldn't be surprised. It is S.J. Thomason. And today she's going to...
Stop. What is
so ridiculous?
What does that mean? Using yourself as a credential? I don't even know what he's supposed to mean. Like what? You're supposed to have some kind of qualification to make a blog post or a YouTube video? I don't understand. Like,
I don't either.
Let's try to come up with a charitable interpretation of it. But it's like, so wait, one point is, what if like when he's talking in this video, whatever he's saying, what if he had first written a blog post saying it and he was just reading what he had written in his own blog post? Then he would be, what did he say? Not qualified, we're credentialed.
Like I don't have credentials because I wrote my own blog post and you brought it to YouTube.
I don't even know what he's trying to say. It just, I mean, is he trying, maybe he doesn't mean credentials or like qualification. Is he trying to say sources? Like, did you cite your sources, or did you, like, I didn't go to your video, but in your video, where did you cite sources, like news sites or what?
Yeah, I had a New York Times article, and so I referenced that in this video, and he didn't like what I said. See, the New York Times had this editorial commentary, and it basically said that the evangelical Christians are pretty much the fault, pretty much the reason for the coronavirus over here in the United States. And I'm like, that's just totally ridiculous. And so, and it's based on this idea that in the editorial post that that this woman said she thought that because there were two pastors who were still holding services, she attached that to Trump and basically said that because these two pastors were holding church services when they shouldn't have been, and I totally disagreed with those pastors, but because they were, that it must be their fault that the coronavirus has spread, and it all is linked to Trump because he supported evangelical Christians. That's the post, and I thought it was.
Hang on, I'm not used to Zoom. Okay, I don't have I don't have your live chat up in front of me, but does anybody in the live chat understand what the fuck he was saying?
Let me get the live chat. I'm gonna get that right in front of me too. There we go. I had that. So yeah, I'll see if
what does credential mean? Let me Google it.
Yeah, what does credential mean? It's like having a degree or having something like that. He's saying I don't have credentials, maybe to be speaking on politics.
You have a PhD in business or something?
Yeah, in business.
Yeah, but what kind of credential would he even want for somebody to be qualified to make a blog post critiquing something in the media? What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. All right, should we go to this other? You want to look at the Eric Hernandez video?
Sure.
All right, so we gave Nakasuchi his bone. He doesn't even know about it.
So this is what Aron Ra does. He lots of times he'll be asked a question and he won't even understand the question. There's several videos of this. This is just one of the funniest ones. And instead of like trying to understand the question or actually trying to answer the question, he just starts screaming about something else. So in this, like, he starts screaming about how Christians don't have evidence for, nobody's ever given him evidence for God or something, which is that even if that was true, it's irrelevant to what this guy is asking. This guy is just pointing out Aron Ra's repeated dishonesty about how he claims that Christians define faith. And actually one time, I used to be an Aron Ra fan back like a decade ago. I was a militant atheist Aron Ra fan. And one time Aron Ra had said that the Intelligent Design website had a declaration of faith on their website. Like, it doesn't even, he said, like, it doesn't even matter if what we say is true, we're still gonna have faith in God anyway. So one time I was like arguing with some atheist or a Christian in a Pal Talk chat, and I had like repeated what Aron Ra said, and they went to the website and was like, "What are you talking about, Godless? That doesn't say it on there." So I went to the website and it wasn't there at all. Aron Ra had just totally made it up. He just makes stuff up that he knows is false. And I don't think he's just so crazy that I don't even think he views himself as dishonest. He's just delusional.
Yeah, that's the thing about Aron Ra that drives me crazy, because he's been told, even IP said this, he's been told over the past 20 years that we say that we have evidence, it's faith with evidence, it's evidence-based faith, and he doesn't want to take our definition. So IP actually went and looked at the Koine Greek and looked at the word, and he looked at all of these different scholars and ancient Greeks, and he basically said the definition Aron Ra is using is a faulty one, and he still keeps using it.
Oh, I want to say really quick, sorry.
Oh, no worries.
IP in this video, what Aron Ra had been debating, Inspiring Philosophy. If anybody wants to talk to him, he's doing an open Q&A on Canadian Catholic Discord server. I forgot when, but I'll send you, will you put the his link to his Discord in the description?
Yeah.
Afterwards, I'll send it to you. Okay.
That's great. Yeah, and I'll put links to this video and also the other video that we just showed in the description too. So should we start this up and listen? Just tell me when you want me to take a break or say a break, just say break, okay?
Okay.
So I'll play it and we'll see how it goes. So here we go.
Aron Ra is so angry. like this wrestling stuff is kind of like silly in the beginning, but it's just to mock how he's just this big angry atheist. It's just, okay, I'm sorry, play it.
Well, I do think it's funny. I love The Rock, though. I can say I used to watch World WWF when it was WWF. Now it's WWE. But I used to watch The Rock all the time. And as soon as Rock got off there, I stopped watching it. But I loved watching wrestling years ago. Here we go.
Just bring it!
Bring it!
Just bring it!
Bring it!
Just
Bring it! So recently there was a debate between fellow apologist and friend of mine, Michael Jones of Inspiring Philosophy, against atheist Aron Ra on the topic, is Christianity dangerous? To no surprise, Aron gives and starts talking about his typical definition of faith.
Faith is a belief that is not based on evidence.
And is something he's said in other videos of his.
Faith is an assertion of unreasonable conviction assumed without reason and defended against all reason.
Now, despite the fact that Michael already corrects all of these mistakes in his opening speech,
and I can find no scholar that specializes in Koine Greek who says this is what the Bible teaches,
which we will get to later, Aron sticks to his definition and brings this up again later on in the debate.
Believing things that are not evidently true, which is the basis of faith.
Now you have to keep in mind that Aron prides himself on his intellectual integrity and how much research he's done, and he doesn't miss an opportunity to remind us that
I've spent 20 years as an atheist activist. For the last 20 years. 20 years! Because after 20 years of research, so 20 years of...
And then even earlier in the debate, he said...
See, I can't believe something unless it is supported by evidence.
right?
So, given that Aron is still using this definition, although Michael has corrected it, and given that Aron can't believe something unless there's evidence for it, Michael rightly presses him on the question, asking for any evidence for why he continues to use this definition.
Boom. So what do you see? What do you see as his reasoning for doing that? Why do you think he continues to do it?
I don't know what the psychology is. I don't know what the psychology is going on there, what the thought process is. I don't think he views, I think a lot of the atheists know that they're being deliberately dishonest. In Aron Ra's case, I don't think it's that. I think it's more cognitive dissonance and his thinking being clouded by anger. But so let's just get this clear. So Aron Ra, it's not just like he's claiming some Christians or one Christian organization. He's not even just saying generally Christians. He's saying all Christians define faith as belief without evidence or whatever he said.
Yeah. It's ridiculous because, I mean, it even says in the Bible, if you're a Christian like I am, if you're a Christian, it says in the Bible that we're supposed to look for evidence. We're not supposed to just believe without any merit.
There's multiple definitions of faith, right? It can just be you can use it in a way that is just synonymous with trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So Eric does a really good job of calling him out, I thought, here. And Eric, actually, I didn't realize Eric was at that debate, and he asked him a question which gets super hilarious when he which is like, because that's when Aron kind of like blew up. That was from the beginning of the thing. So here we go.
So let's see what Aron says.
Do you have any scholars that specialize in Koine Greek that say pistis means denying evidence or reason?
Scholars who say that say again?
Pistis, the Greek word we translate as faith, means denying evidence or reason.
And we have demonstrations of that.
Do we have any scholars that say this is how it's defined?
I have no idea if we have scholars
Okay,
that
so
say that.
that's a no.
I know that we have missionaries who say that is what it is.
Okay, are they
That we
experts?
have, I'm sorry,
Are
what?
they the experts, though?
I don't know.
Okay, how is the word pistis defined in Aristotle, Antiphon, Diodorus, Plato? Have you looked into that at all?
No, I haven't looked into how Aristotle interpreted
Okay, so
that,
then
no.
have you done a good analysis of what the word actually means in the New Testament then, if you don't actually look at the Greek word?
So now I'm beginning to wonder that how in 20 years of this intellectual research that he's done, how has he not understood the correct definition of what faith is, both historically and biblically? And Michael's not the first one to point it out.
And every Christian I've ever debated this with tells me that I'm misdefining faith.
Now, the title of the debate...
Did you hear that? He says every Christian he's debated has told him he's wrong, and he just keeps doing it. So now it's getting to be kind of obnoxious in a way, don't you think?
Yeah, I argued with Aron Ra on Twitter for a long time about this too, and he's even after this exchange with this guy and the Twitter war with me, he's still doing it. There's like new videos of him still defining it that way.
Yeah, I think he wants to make us look as dumb as possible. That's what he's trying to do. I think he wants to paint Christians as like these, feeble-minded, silly people who have faith based on zero evidence at all. And that's just that's something that people like IP actually represent us really well as far as debates. Because in fact, on Twitter, I did a poll to see who is the best Christian YouTube channel, and IP won out of all these other people. I put him up even against William Lane Craig. So he's coming out pretty far ahead in a lot of different polls. So, but should we listen to more?
Sure.
Okay.
Is Christianity dangerous? But the thought I began to have in my mind was, if Aron is so adamant about this definition, yet he has been corrected on this many times, then perhaps it is his own research that is perhaps flawed, biased, and dangerous to the pursuit of truth. Hence the question I'm about to ask.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time!
This question's for Aron. You mentioned that in 20 years of rigorous research, you found no evidence, I think you said, of Christianity. But
No, that's not what I said. I said in 20 years of arguing with Christians that they told me that I'm wrong about the belief in faith, that faith is not a belief that is not based on evidence. I say that faith is a belief that is not based on evidence. They all say, oh yeah, we have evidence. I say, okay, fine. What is it? And I've always specified that I'm looking for scientific evidence. They ask, what evidence would I accept? I said, how much evidence would you accept? They would ask. I said, I'll take anything that qualifies as evidence. Any body of objectively verifiable facts which positively indicate or exclusively concord with that particular position over any other. In 20 years,
I think I get
without
it.
exception,
Okay.
there has been no one to present any scientific evidence that actually indicates the Christian God, or indeed any God, or in fact anything supernatural at all.
Okay, I appreciate the clarification. Yeah, that doesn't.
Everything he just said wasn't addressing the question at all.
No, that's the thing. He's so busy focusing on Christianity and it not being. Here's the thing that he's doing, and this is what Eric's going to point out. It's a category error, because you're not going to find evidence of the supernatural in just looking at natural, and that's what science does. Science looks at the natural world, and so he's not even looking in the right places or listening to the right places by boxing it out and saying it has to be scientific evidence. So, but then the other thing is, with pistis and this whole idea of faith-based without any sort of evidence. So he's going to go on another rant here, which is when it gets really interesting. So he'll turn this up. Here we go.
Change the question I'm about to ask. So, you mentioned that in 20 years of rigorous research, you found no evidence of what you're looking for. But then when Michael pressed you on naming just one scholar who defines the word faith in the way you put it, you couldn't name one. So my question is, could it be possible that your research is maybe flawed, biased, and even maybe dangerous to the pursuit of truth?
I have conducted this experiment, as I explained, over and over and over and over again.
Did you catch IP over there laughing? It's like, okay.
Having this exact conversation at least once a week for 20 years. Not one Christian ever has produced evidence. He didn't either, nor can you. No one can. It doesn't exist.
That's not the debate
I demand that anybody in this room who calls yourself a Christian, if you think you have scientific evidence to indicate you're God, bring it. You ain't got it. I win.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
He gets a little testy, doesn't he? And this looks like it's before any alcohol. I mean, it looks like they're just drinking water here. So imagine what it would be like if there had been a little like beers in front of him. He might jump out of his chair. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pretty funny.
I'm sorry my question upset you, but that wasn't my question, but I'll move on. Thank you.
He said, I'm sorry my question upset you, but that's not what
Wait, he does have
one. So he apparently didn't like the question. Apparently didn't like being pressed in that way.
Yeah,
but notice he never answered.
What'd you say?
What do you think the psychology is? I don't think that he didn't, I don't think he even comprehended the question. I don't know. I'm not confident in this belief or anything, but I think he just heard like the word faith and God and evidence, and just his thinking shut down, and he just started screaming his script rant.
Yeah.
His typical rant. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the thing is he does sound like he's scripted. He's almost kind of like a Christian version of Kent Hovind in a way. I don't know if you've ever heard Kent Hovind, but Kent's got this certain script that he uses when he goes up against people on evolution. And he says the same stuff over and over, like a bird turning into a banana or something like that. I mean, he's got that kind of script that he says over and over. And it's kind of the same way with me when I listen to Aron Ra, because I feel like I hear him in these debates saying the same script over and over. So I think there's an equivalent there. Okay, do you know who Kent Hovind is?
Oh yeah, actually, if you want to play some of this video, I mean, I don't have much time, and the rest of this video is just Eric commenting anyway.
Yeah.
If it's okay with you.
Sure. Yeah,
I just posted this video on my channel. I'm sending you the link on Twitter.
I got to put links to your channel in here too. I forgot to do that.
Thank you. If you could put a link to my Discord server too.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Where can I find your Discord link? Is that on your Twitter site?
I'll send it to you up in private message on Twitter. I just sent you the video. Do you see? Oh wait.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I just sent you the video.
Oh,
that's a clip of
Bruggen.
That's a clip of Aron Ra a long time ago on a podcast with Eric Hovind and Side 10. And yeah, Eric Hovind and Side 10 are presuppositionalists, and they use a script, but that doesn't mean that their argument is bad just because it's scripted. But
that's true.
But during this Aron Ra, it's just really funny to watch him not answer questions and scream at Side. And what's really funny about this video, did you get the link?
Oh, I got it right. Can you see it right now? I got it right in front of us.
I see it. Okay. What's really funny about this video is Eric Hovind and Side 10 are the two Christians, and they're on an atheist podcast. It used to be called the Magic Sandwich Show. So Aron Ra's with all his atheist friends, and the atheist moderator and his atheist friend have to tell him, Aron, please just stop. Like just mute your mic. And Aron Ra is screaming so loud. His voice is like hoarse because this was right after the 2012 Reason rally, and he had been screaming at atheists so much that he's trying to scream, but his voice is hoarse because he's been screaming at atheists so much recently. And then he's screaming so loudly though that his mic is cutting in and out, so you can't hear some of what he's saying. And Side 10 keeps he'll repeat the question, and you can see Eric Hovind laughing. Like you can see him light up laughing. It's just hilarious. So play some of this.
And this is from your channel? This is your channel?
Yeah, I just uploaded it. It's a clip of.
Okay.
The full debate is in the link to the description.
Perfect. Okay, here we go. Excuse me. I drank some water, or tea or whatever, went down the wrong side. Sorry about that little coughing fest. Okay.
No, I'm saying he's all knowing, he's all powerful, and logic. Logic.
Aron, please. Aron, please.
Logic is
please.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, this is not a state. Wait, can't you just mute him?
Yeah, Aron, you're getting a bit disruptive here.
Aron, please stop.
I'm demonstrated that it is a fact. So you can't tell me what God is until you can show me what God is.
Aron, please.
Just step away from the mic, Aron.
He's been yelling. Oh my gosh, his voice was totally gone. That is classic. So good one. Let me see. Keep going. Did you do this editing?
If it's contingent upon the existence of a supernatural being making it valid, then how do you know that 2 + 2 = 4 is truly equal to 4, or simply because God has decided today that 2 + 2 = 4? So how do you know that your reality is the correct reality without revelation?
I have to jump in again.
Aron.
I have to jump in again because again, he is saying that it matters which reality you're in. It doesn't. It doesn't matter if reality.
Is that true, Aron? That doesn't matter?
Which reality?
Does he saying it doesn't matter if reality?
The definition of reality in philosophy is just everything that exists. So how can there be more than what is more than one? Which reality? There's only one reality by definition. What it just and look, these guys, it's the guys in this podcast. Like Aron Ra is really good with evolution, right? Although, oh my God, you have to see this other video. The video where he's screaming at me. I don't have time today, but the video where he's screaming at me. So there's this really complex argument, not against evolution being true, but against like natural selection being able to make, it's really complex. But I was before Aron Ra became enemies with Steve McCrae, and Steve McCrae is hanging out with Aron Ra, and he ends up screaming at me because he doesn't even listen enough to understand what we're saying. So that's really funny. But anyway, he is really good with evolution, though. He knows a lot of biology. So the guys in this hangout, they're scientists, right? Why are they debating presuppositionalist apologists? They don't even understand their argument. And they're like sitting, they're just a bunch of clowns. They're sitting, Aron Ra stated himself, he doesn't know philosophy, he doesn't care about philosophy. Then you're like an embarrassment to the atheist community when you go up against these two Christian presuppositionalists, they're Christian presuppositionalist apologists, and they don't even understand their argument. They don't understand what they're saying. So all Aron Ra can do is scream the whole time and not answer questions. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, and he says something like creating an alternative reality or something like that. And it just doesn't, let's see, I'm trying to catch his argument too. So let's see what he says here.
According to, how do you know that?
Because the rules still apply to us in every case.
Okay, now let me ask you this.
It's irrelevant because from our
perspective. Aaron, you're reasoning with me now. Aaron, you're reasoning with me now. Aaron, you're reasoning with me now. How do you know that your reasoning is valid?
Because it's concordant with reality, regardless whether reality is real.
Are you using your reasoning?
Did you say pause?
No, I just said he's begging the question. When you use your reasoning to justify how do you know your reasoning is reliable? You can't. It has to be like an assumption. Because as soon as you try to provide any justification, you're going to be begging the question because you're going to be relying on your reasoning to do it, which is a hard-sized argument. It's kind of complex. It's hard. You can't get it the first time you hear it.
You're reminding me though of you also sent that other video with you and Tom Jump that happened. Maybe we should go to that too after this one.
Yeah, I don't have time today, but yeah, that was, oh my God, that was like so crazy. And what's so fucked up is that's like their champion. That's like, this is one of their champions, right? Like he's given such a platform in the atheist community. But you have to hear it to believe it. I don't expect, like, who's ever watching, I don't expect you to believe what I'm saying. You're free to go watch the video though. In like a period of 90 seconds, he says, he's talking about, I think, therefore I am the Descartes thing. He says, no, it's not. This is all in 90 seconds. I get him to he says, no, it's not an assertion. And then he says, well, it's irrelevant that it's assertion. And then he says, yes, it's an assertion. And then he says, I don't care that it's an assertion. And then he says, I don't know if it's an assertion or not. Like 3 different contradictions in a series of 90 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to it and I was like, what is he talking about? I couldn't even grasp his argument. It didn't make sense to me.
He didn't have an argument.
Yeah, so we'll have to some other time we'll have to review that one and look at that.
Okay, so. Sorry, we're like all over the place. So and in this video, it's really just showing Aron Ra being emotional. It's not, you're not getting to hear what Site 10 is arguing, but it's just showing how it's like this big angry atheist. It's just showing how silly it is. It's silly, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's to spend his whole life, like this is his life, really. This is what he does. He goes around the country and he goes around the world, actually. He even was in Europe not too long ago, basically talking about how God doesn't exist. I mean, it seems like it's a lot of effort you'd put into your life on talking about God doesn't exist when you don't believe. I mean, you have a different job probably, right? You have something you do besides this stuff. Do you have
I'm the welfare cleaner.
Oh, the welfare. Okay. No, I'm just saying, well, it's just like to spend your whole life on this kind of thing. It just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like it's not really best hobby as far as I'm concerned. He does, I'll actually give it to him as far as evolution, because I've heard from Cy Gart. Cy Gart's a biology professor, and Cy has debated him, and he says that Aron does know his stuff with evolution. So I'll give him that. But when he starts talking about history and other things, he gets a lot of people riled up and calling him out.
Right.
That's when there's an issue. Here, let's see what he says.
In order to see if it's concordant with reality.
Yes.
Okay, is that not a vicious circle to use your reasoning to justify your reasoning?
No.
Okay, thanks for your time.
What else?
No.
Court, do you have another question?
Sai, no, you can't do that. No, Aron, please let me finish, okay?
Yes.
Aron, that concordance finish, please.
All right, Sai, you say that
He's lost his voice. He can't. Poor, I feel kind of bad for him. He can't even talk. He wants to argue, and he's talking, and nothing's coming out of his lip. So, okay.
you don't need your reason to validate your reason. So I want to give you a very simple challenge. Oh, okay. Oh, so you do use your reason, or was this a contradictory statement?
Not autonomously. That's the difference. You say your reasoning is valid because your reasoning is valid. How do you know your reasoning is valid, Concordance?
So how do you know your reasoning is valid? I think that's a
revelation from God.
Aha, so magic. You believe
no.
Aron, please, one at a time. Let's keep it civil. Aron, please.
Concordance,
bear in mind, George Harrison had a personal relationship with Krishna. It's easy to have personal relationships with gods that may be completely imaginary. When you assume that God reveals something, that's the way you're doing a confirmation bias. That prayer is answered no matter what the prayer is, and it's always going to be the God you assume because you assume it to begin with. That's your circular reasoning. That's refusal to reason the position. We are reasoning because we assume that we may be wrong.
I bet he's a blast at cocktail parties. Can you imagine? He's pretty funny.
Any degree, and we have to test for that. We have to improve that.
You can be wrong about that. But you can be wrong about that.
I can't. You are wrong. We are both wrong to a degree, not absolutely.
What does that mean? What does that mean? It doesn't even mean anything.
Yeah.
Both wrong to a degree. Like every proposition, like a proposition is either true or false, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's basically saying, see, they're like, there's this one argument that I've heard. Have you ever heard of the 3,000 atheists believe just in one fewer God? You heard of that one?
Yeah.
Like they say there's 3,000 gods in the world and you don't believe in 2,999 of them. And I just believe in one fewer essentially. And I just think, see I don't really like that argument. And I keep hearing it, but it kind of reminds me of sort of what he's setting up here with this Krishna argument. Talking about, well, you pray and you're going to say it's Krishna if you believe in Krishna, or you're going to say it's Allah if you believe in Allah. And I mean, to an extent, he's actually right. People do pray to their particular God and they do think their particular God is doing the answering. But that doesn't mean, to me, that doesn't mean there's no God out there.
Well, it just shows that he doesn't understand Sai's argument at all, because Sai's argument is supposed to show that it can only be used with the Christian God, because the Christian God is omnipotent and omniscient and cannot tell a lie. And not even like the other Abrahamic, like the Jewish God or the Allah fit that definition. So, I mean, I don't agree with the argument, but it just goes to show that Aaron Ra doesn't understand what's being said at all. I really have to go.
Oh, okay, no problem.
I'm sorry I had to cut it so short.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Here,
okay.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody. I'm going to put her links to her channel and all that kind of good stuff in there. And we'll watch the rest of this video just to conclude it. And we'll put links to this video and other videos. And I really appreciate you coming on. And next time we'll have to review some more stuff.
Okay, I think actually I messed up in the editing of that video and it just repeats what was said in the beginning.
Oh, but does it? Okay,
I'll send you the link to my Discord server on Twitter. Okay. You can put that in the description. So if there's any haters, I haven't looked at the live chat, but if there's any haters in the live chat, you're free to come yell at me on Discord.
I haven't seen any. People have been pretty good from what I've seen here. So hopefully we don't have any haters. Because
okay, Steph, you have a good day. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye. So I'm going to come back over to the chat room. Hold on, people. Let me come on over back to where you guys are, if I can find it. Okay, so I want to say again, thank you to Godless Girl for coming on. That was really wonderful to see. If anyone has thoughts or questions or anything on those videos that we just showed you guys, you can bring them up if you want. She had a very funny chat with T-Jump that she pointed out, and actually I'll put a link to that particular chat in here too. And so that's pretty much all I'm going to do. I want to do call outs to everybody. I took all the mods away, as you guys probably noticed, just because I was having a hard time tracking people, like timing out people and doing other things like that. So I just figured I'll just level the playing field and go that way. So I want to say thank you everybody for coming in here. I know it was short and sweet, and I hope you have a great afternoon. So bye-bye.